Club 400 is underway. Clint Boyer, the pole sitter, takes off. Denny Hamlin had to start tail end. He made a pit stop on the pace laps. They changed a shock absorber on his number 11.
Already 4 or 5 wide through turns 1 and 2. This very rough back straightaway. You got to be real careful bump drafting down this back straightaway. DiBenedetto making some big moves here early on in this race to the outside.
From 10th to 4th goes the 21.
Yeah, I saw him go to the outside down in 1 and 2. They did the same thing down in 3 and 4.
Clint Boyer leads his first lap of 2020, and starting out back under penalty, Ricky Stenhouse, the 47. He's made a lot of gains moving up. Impound race, so they qualified, and then the cars were locked up. Here comes Kyle Busch in the 18.
Yeah, Kyle Busch had a huge run off the top lane. I'm going to be really curious to see how long it takes a lot of these drivers to gravitate from the bottom to the top. But right now it's clean air on the top, and the 41 of Cole Custer, a big loose moment right there while Kyle Busch takes advantage of it. DiBenedetto goes to 4th place. Wow.
Alex Bowman slipping in that red and black number 88 in 5th. He was the car to beat in practice Friday.
Yeah, he's won everything but the pole position so far this weekend. So we watch Clint Boyer, who's picked up a little bit of trash. There's a lot of wind around here. We've seen where that leader really picks up a lot of trash, but look how rough this back straightaway is. So even into turn 3 as they load into the banky, as we're on board in the visor camera with Jimmy Johnson. Watch his head bounce around through those bumps through turns 3 and 4.
Battling for 5th, DiBenedetto and Almirola. Kyle Larson right behind the 21. Looking in.
Yeah,
and 3rd place, keep an eye on Kurt Busch today in the 1.
Absolutely. He's the guy I've got my eye on. He was really good in the average on a 20-lap run in practice. 2nd best on that, only to the 88 who's right in front of him, Alex Bowman. But with the 21 car, DiBenedetto, it scares me to be that good on the first couple laps of this race, because usually it's going to fall off if your car's that good on the early run.
Kyle Busch trying to hold down the final stage point here in about 4 laps. There's the Hendrick running order. Alex Bowman out front of Jimmy Johnson. Jamie?
And he has led 40 laps today, Mike. I talked to Greg Ives, his crew chief, this morning. He said last year we got so tired of qualifying 18th to 22nd. We can never make up those spots. And he said we are losing out on all these valuable stage points. Well, they have changed their philosophy, the way they attempt the race weekend and qualifying. It's paying off. He's about to win this stage.
And on the left, Joey Logano about to take 6th from Matt DiBenedetto, who is fading just a bit at the end of this stage. Chase Elliott may have a problem, Vince.
Well, they're certainly hoping to wait until they get to the end of the stage, but Chase Elliott just radioed in and said, I feel like I'm on the cords. He said, be ready because I might have to bring it to you early. So the team up on the wall and waiting, but hoping he can get 2 more laps out of it to the end of stage 1.
Well, the pits close with 2 laps to go at the end of each stage, so it would be a penalty if he were to pit now. See how this
right
plays
now,
out.
you got to hold on to it just for 1 lap. Even if you have to back off your pace, you can't come down pit road right now. But boy, some nervous times for that crew in that 9 car after they had a pretty disastrous day last week at Las Vegas.
Yeah, they had the best long run car last week. Appeared to have victory in sight. Circumstances changed everything.
But Mike, we talk about how important these stage points are. We saw where Chase Elliott won both stages last week. He won a stage in Daytona, and it has kept him up there in the top 10 in points so far, even though he hasn't had good results. So that's why all these drivers and teams work so hard for these stage points.
You're right, Jeff. He's not had a top 10 finish, but he's well up in the point standings. Final lap, stage 1. This is the most laps that Alex Bowman has led in a race since he led 88 of them in his Chicago win last year. Green and white checkered flag in the air. First stage win for Alex Bowman.
Something we've seen out of Truex Jr. is they don't always qualify good. I think they have a little more drag and some downforce in their cars. That's why they don't qualify as good, but they usually race extremely good. And I think that was the thing about Mark Truex Jr.'s comments when the two of Brad Keselowski went by him. It's that he's holding it wide open. He just doesn't have the sheer speed like some of these other cars.
Look at Jimmy Johnson from our ally cam trying to hold on to third place in this stage from Brad Keselowski. 2 to go.
Every position you lose on the track in these closing laps of the stage is another opportunity to lose more on pit road. You want to be as far to the front as you possibly can so you can have a great pit stop and maybe even get clean air and come out out front.
Kyle Busch trying to pass Denny Hamlin. Teammates battling for 7th. Final lap of the stage. Kevin Harvick in position to get the final stage point. About half a second ahead of Tyler Reddick. Alex Bowman won the first stage, but not by the 3.2 seconds that Ryan Blaney has on the field.
Yeah, Blaney just looks totally in control. Car nice and straight, not hanging it out there. Doing an awesome job.
Ryan Blaney and Team Penske win stage 2 by 3.2 seconds. And we're ready for stage 3.
Well, and that time the inside lane because of Ryan Blaney. A huge push to the rear bumper of Alex Bowman gives him the lead coming into turn 3. 4 wide. Of course, Legato taking that dive all the way down the white line. Oh, Jimmy Johnson might get to the outside corner of the 8A, and here comes to the inside Ryan Blaney on Alex Bowman.
980 if you want it. Bottom of 3. Bottom of 3. They're pulling each other back, so bottom of 3 even.
And here comes Truex.
Oh, Truex.
4 wide.
Corner, so bottom.
You saw that Bowman side drafted on Jimmy Johnson, dumped that air in the rear spoiler, and that really drug him back. That gave that opening on the outside for Truex to take the lead. Boy, great battle. Here comes Ryan Blaney now being pushed by Denny Hamlin to the lead. But Bowman just cannot get through turns 3 and 4 to maintain this lead. He gets stalled up every time, whether they're on the inside or the outside.
And Bowman leads them to the stripe this time. Truex has a run. He's going to take it downstairs.
Oh, all the way to the bottom, 3 wide. Can he slide up in front of the 12 of Ryan Blaney and maintain this lead?
There you go. Put him in your way now. Keep him behind you there.
The 19 of Martin Truex, he was concerned about what lane the 88 was running. You can see the 18 also on pit road. Truex says his car more on the free side. Needs a bigger adjustment this time. Regan.
Well, Denny Hamlin's race car had been getting better most of the day until he brushed the fence a few laps ago. As soon as he did that, that race car went too tight. 4 tires for him. Jamie?
Kevin Harvick in the force that balances okay right now. A little bit too tight on exit. A 4-tire stop, air pressure once again. Matt.
And the 19, they're back on the left side. Their teammate, the 18, Kyle Busch, is in, and he's already down and away, losing a lot of time here on the 19. They cannot get the Lux off on that left rear. Huge, huge bad luck here for the 19, Jamie. Impact gun issues.
Tough break for the 19 indeed, and the leader, Alex Bowman, was getting anxious on the radio, saying he was just too tight turning. The tires were falling off too much, but Greg Ives, his crew chief, wanted him to go about 38 laps. They accomplished that here. They'll fill him up in air pressure. Matt, back to you.
And probably the most dominant car all day, the 12 of Ryan Blaney. trying to get Roger Penske another win at the racetrack that he built. The car has gone to the free side. You heard him earlier saying it was too tight to run the bottom, adding tape and another adjustment for the 12.
4 drivers have not stopped at the front of the field. Keselowski, Buescher, Stenhouse, of course, and Boyer. When we cycle back around, it'll be Bowman to the lead over Blaney.
Well, it's really unfortunate with Truex Jr. and that issue that they had, but I was really curious to watch Alex Bowman come to pit road. Let's look at this 19 pit stop first. You can see he's having an issue with the gun.
Jeff, he had the same problem on the right rear. They were having gun problems
it's
right
there. It's
there.
like he couldn't get it to reverse. He could get him to, the lug nuts to turn and tighten, but he couldn't get it to reverse and pull those lug nuts off.
And here is the radio for Team 19.
Your fault. What's going on? What was that? What the hell happened? I'm not too sure right now. Something with a gun. I think Lee's
So Truex goes a lap down.
Was that a medical issue? It looks like something is wrong with his hand, that he hurt his hand and wasn't able to switch the gun around from tightening to loosening lug nuts. You can see him looking at his hand.
Might have caught a finger, Larry. Those guns, air guns, they have a lot of torque to them.
Oh, they really, really do. But I agree with you guys. With him holding his hand like that, something happened over there. It all started on the right rear, and he just escalated to the left rear, Matt.
And Lee Cunningham is going to be taken to the Infield Care Center, veteran tire changer here in the sport. You guys mentioned the injury to his wrist and hand. Medical personnel are looking things over on Cunningham. Jamie.
Well, I mentioned, Matt, that Alex Bowman was getting anxious that the tires were falling off. This is the right rear tire that just came off the 88. Look at the cords right here. He's happy to get those 4 fresh tires, guys.
Happy? He's happy. He'll be delirious if he sees that. My goodness. Ryan Blaney, if he pits, he will give up second place.
Oh, bummer. Such a bummer for Ryan Blaney. Off to a great start. Great day he's having here today.
And he will pit, Jeff, with 3 laps to go. Safety first.
Well, yeah, I mean, definitely safety first. You don't want to tear up the race car and make things even worse. But you also, he is our points leader coming in this race. He wants to maintain those points as much as possible. You see that maybe that right rear tires maybe unwound one of the treads there, one of the cords.
Now he may be able to stay on the lead lap given his track position at the time he came in. 3 to go. Cole Custer was the last car on the lead lap. Now he is lapped by Alex Bowman, who will come to the stripe with 2 to go. So Blaney falls off the lead lap. That'll put him down around 23rd place, 22nd or so, with 2 to go. And now Kyle Busch, the new second place car, 10 seconds back of Bowman. And half a second faster.
I would call this a win for Kyle Busch. He has not had a lot of speed this weekend. He would be very happy to come home second today. Well, I say that, we know Kyle's never happy with second.
Here comes Bowman. The white flag waves. 1 to go. Austin Dillon to the pit lane for tires with 1 to go. Kyle Busch 9.7 back and closing as fast as he can.
You know, this is one of those drivers, he doesn't have this long-term contract at Hendrick Motorsports. His future's a little bit unknown. This moment right here, if he can complete this, which it looks like he will, a huge moment for Alex Bowman's career and future, and this season that he and Greg Ives and Hendrick Motorsports are starting to put together.
Alex Bowman comes to the stripe to win the Auto Club 400. Career win number 2.
How about that? No debate on that right rear now.
No, Greg said save it, so I used it. I saved some to use some there, but man, how about that, California? I grew up quarter midget racing, maybe 20 minutes from here, Pomona Valley. Went there every week, made a lot of great friends. I know a lot of you guys are here, so man, so cool for Cincinnati. Seems like every time they're on the car, we run so good. Promised my buddy Aaron we would all get matching 88 tattoos if I won, and I think I have to go get a tattoo now, but that'll be a good time. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Thanks to Greg, all the guys. He made good calls all day, and we were up front when it counted.